wanted to make a video about this Texa diagnostic system here. I'm really pleased with this system. Like any other system, there's some fallbacks to it and there's things they're working on, but I can tell you one thing about Texa. Their customer support has been excellent, and any problems I have informed them about, I mean, they get right on it and they do everything they can to fix it and make it right. So every tool is not perfect. That's what I'm getting at. But every tool maker doesn't do the best they can to make it right. Autel is one of the tools I do have, and I can't hardly get any customer support on that. It's a good tool, but when there's something wrong, it's an act of God to get it fixed. But on Texa, on the other hand, this thing is an awesome unit. I'm actually a dealer for these guys now. This is your pass-through unit. It'll hook up, and what I mainly focus on my end of things, and I think Texas focusing a lot on it too, is the agricultural side, which is kind of a standalone unit. There's nobody else in the industry that's offering what they do. I'll show you here in a minute what this thing will do. I got a truck in here right now I can hook it up to, but also on the agricultural side, I mean, it does John Deere, Case International, it does a lot of stuff. It does a whole lot of bi-directional controls on John Deere. You'll do the compression test. It did a lot of OEM functionality on that. You can't program controllers with it because that's part of the intellectual software, you know, stuff that Deere's come up with that they don't want to release to anybody. But you can put your injector, if you change injectors on like a 9430T, you can program your injector numbers in to your controller when you replace those. I mean, you can do the cylinder drop test, cut out injectors with it. You can do the compression test just like the John Deere Service Advisor. You can do the, oh, there's all kinds of stuff on there. I'll get into it in a minute, but I'll show you what it'll do on a ISX Cummins and what we've got there. But this is your pass-through unit. Comes with all kinds of cables. These are your ag cables here. The truck cable's actually on it right now. If I can, no, it's not. I haven't got it hooked up yet, but it'll come with your 6-pin Deutsch, 9-pin Deutsch, and I don't know, I've never used that one. But it also comes with your ag cables. That's going to be your standard cable that uses John Deere, Case International, about everything in the world except for Caterpillar. Caterpillar always has to be unique in everything that they do. That's your cat cable. Notice the center peg doesn't have the little notch on it like the other one does. And then cat's power and grounds are reversed from everything else, so you don't want to screw that up and hook that cable up to, you know, you don't want to screw that up. It's kind of hard to with that notch in there. But believe it or not, I've seen guys file that notch off thinking that they could get that in there. Well, then they fried their controller. So, but it comes with a lot of different stuff. It comes with, you know, if you have problem powering up, the controller's not powering up the laptop or the software or whatever, you can plug this in. It's got a cigarette lighter power up deal for the pass-through unit too. So there's a lot of options here. I mean, and once I really start showing you this thing's about, for the ag software and the truck software, I paid $6,700 for it a couple years ago. You know, it's around $7,000 to get that now. We probably can work out some deals to get it even a little cheaper, but it does a lot of stuff, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff, especially on the ag side. It does a lot of stuff. I mean, you can look at all your parameters, your draft sensors. You can look at your hitch control units. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that'll do. So let's go look at this ISX Cummins. We'll show you what it'll do to it. It does a lot of stuff on the truck side too. 2010 Kenworth W900 with an ISX CM 2250 Cummins in it. 15-liter Cummins. This is the better one. This is when they went to urea on this one, which is way better than the 08s and 09s, because they didn't have near as many problems with these as they did with the 08s and 09s. The 10s is where they really started to line things out on these. Anyway, here's our diagnostic system. We've fired it up, and as you can see, it's loading. Right now, I just became a dealer for these guys, and guys are going to give me the rest of the software so we can show you the rest of this. But you can do car, truck, bike, off-highway marine engines. I mean, this thing will do anything you want as long as you want to pay for the software. I focused on the truck and off-highway, and I asked the guy that I was actually my dealer, and he said, you know, the car and the bike and stuff, he says, you know, you can buy that if you want. But I don't deal with the bikes, and I don't deal with marine. Obviously, I'm out in the middle of here, where the desert here. So, but on the car side, you know, there's so much competition on the automotive side of diagnostic tools that Texa's not pushing that near as much. I got some kind of patch they're wanting me to install, but I'll do that later. But they're focusing more on their truck market and their off-highway market, especially the off-highway. Even in the truck, you know, they push the truck is excellent. I love the truck software too. I mean, this will do almost everything Insight will do. And on the Detroits too, it'll do a lot of stuff. I mean, you can do all your if you do get a controller, you can have it pre-programmed by Cummins, and you can actually do the configurations yourself with this, just like the Insight does. So I've got my pass-through unit plugged in, and let's see here, American Heavy Duty. So here's some of your options. I mean, there's so many options. Allegro, Bluebird, Caterpillar, E1. It'll do the new Caterpillar trucks. I don't know. Caterpillar is the only thing I can say. Caterpillar is so proprietary on everything they do. They don't release they don't give any permission for anyone to access their stuff. It doesn't do a lot of stuff on the Cat engines, I know that. But on the Cummins and the Detroits, the International, the Max Star, it does a lot of stuff. Freightliner, yeah, I mean, you can do a lot of stuff on Freightliner. There's our Kenworth, so there's Iveco. Let's go down and look at the whole list here. Mack, Peterbilt, Sterling, Temsa, Van Hool, Volvo Trucks, Western Star. Okay, let's go back before we get into the diagnosis on this one. But you can go to, if you pay for the software, I mean, you can get solved problems, Exchange Manager, EOBD protocol. You can hook up an OBD2 scan tool to a car. Even though you don't have the car software, it'll still communicate with it. And it'll give you generic codes and stuff. So that's pretty handy. I've done that before too. Let's go on back here. So let's go back to, I'll show you off-highway. Alright, let's see. So here's some agricultural vehicles here. This is the different ag vehicles you can choose from. Bueller Versatile, Carraro. Some of these I've never, I mean, I'm sure you guys over across the pond have heard of these. Carraro, Case IH, Caterpillar, Challenger, Kloss, Deutz. I mean, the list goes on and on. JCB, it does a lot of stuff on JCB. John Deere does an extreme amount on John Deere. John Deere's probably the best. Kubota, I haven't done, there's not that many Kubotas around here that I work on. I just ordered a cable from the guy that that was my dealer, and because I had one with a DPF problem. So they do have the cables for the Kubota, and they have the diagnostic features where you can do regions and everything with the Kubota too. Let's see what else. McDonald, Manitou, Massey Ferguson, McCormick, New Holland. I'll go into one that I'm really familiar with, and that's John Deere, and I'll show you some of just the models that they cover. I mean, as you can see here, it'll do all the way up to the, you know, the new R series tractors. It'll do a lot of stuff. So let's get over, and also construction vehicles. You can go into construction vehicles. Here's all the different construction vehicles you can, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. And I work on a lot of excavators and stuff, and I've hooked them up to John Deere 230s, LCs, and stuff like that. Also, you can do a lot of industrial engines, craner truck, container truck, industrial engines. You can do pump stations. If you've got some, some pump stations out there that you're irrigating your field with some Cummins motors on it or John Deere engines on it, and it's got a 9-pin Deutsch connector there for diagnostics, so you can hook this up and get your codes and do cylinder drop tests. You can do forced regens with it. This will do a forced regen on the Cummins, on the John Deeres. I've done a lot of them. I've done them on the International Max Force or whatever the hell they call them. I've done them on those. So let's go back to the truck software and go back to our. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you real quick. If you guys are, if you've got diesel pickups that you work on too, you can go to American Medium Duty Dodge. Here's your 4th gen, your 3rd gen motors. You can do forced regens. You can look at all your parameters. Here's the stuff that it'll communicate on. I mean, it'll do a lot of stuff here. Airbag, ABS, audio amplifier system, diesel injection. So we actually have to have it hooked up to a vehicle to go any further here to show you exactly what that'll do. But there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, it'd take forever for me to tell you all the stuff this thing will do. I'm really impressed with it. So let's go back to diagnosis. Let's go to American. My computer, it's always got some update or something it's doing. Go to K for Kenworth. We got Cummins. Now let's go to diesel injection. Alright, so let's go to Cummins. This one is a 2010. So let's turn on the ignition. Let's confirm. Cummins likes doing their countdowns and kind of takes forever to get loaded up, but that's just the Cummins software part of it. It's not the Texa. It's just the way Cummins has their software configured in their ECMs. And this guy called me. He had some it's got something going on with the regen. We're going to actually pull our DPF filter and send it off. They recommend every 200,000 sending their filters off and having them baked and cleaned. Save you from being on the hook. Okay, so we got a couple codes here. Selective catalyst reductant. So that's right, SCR, selective catalyst. SCR catalyst after treatment system conversion efficiency. Data valid, but below normal operation range. DEF, diesel exhaust fluid after treatment system. Tank level. Data valid, but below normal operating range. He probably ran low on DEF. And I'm guessing that's probably what happened. There should be a gauge for that here in the cab. Let's move the laptop. There should be a gauge here in this Kenworth for the DEF system. Front drive axle DEF. Well, it's full now. I bet you he was low on DEF. And usually when it starts showing those codes, that's usually because it's low on DEF. You'll see that first code in the winter time when it's colder than shit outside and the DEF is freezing on the lines and stuff. It'll throw low efficiency codes. I'm probably just going to clear these and we'll do a forced regen on it. Let's go ahead and clear them. When they're yellow like that, that means they're stored in the memory. When they're red, they're active. When they're green, they're cleared. Check that the engine is off. Press confirm. Okay. So then you want to do that. And then you wait. Press key to stop. Press confirm. This is another Cummins thing. And then here we go with another countdown. We get done with the countdown here, then we'll I'll show you some of the stuff, do cylinder drop test and things like that. I'll just show you some of the stuff this thing will do for an ISX Cummins. It has a lot of bidirectional codes, a lot of functionality, a lot of OEM functionality. Okay, clearing done. Turn on the ignition, press confirm. Golly, there's a lot of countdowns on this thing. It takes you forever on these Cummins to clear a code. Okay, for some reason, oh, I see now. It's got to go through another countdown. I think those guys could figure things out a little bit better than that on Cummins' side of things. Because it doesn't do this on Detroit or anything else. Detroit, you just clear the code, you're done. Okay, they're green now. They're cleared. And you can print these results too. You get a print. Technical documentation. If you pay for that stuff, you can get all kinds of wiring schematics. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. Okay, so let's go to, here's some of the activations. You can do configuration data reading. You can set up your configurations in your ECM, cylinder cutoff, cylinder performance test, DF, dosing module air solenoid test. The dosing module test, electric frequency control actuator valve override test, engine state monitoring, fan test, fuel delivery circuit leak test, intake air heater 1, starter lockout relay test. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. And on the settings side, you can get on and actually you have to sign a disclosure thing with Texa, and I have. Right where I'm at, actually where I'm at right now, I don't have any internet service. I do if I go outside. I've got a, oh, what do you call that thing? You hook it up to your laptop and it goes through your phone. But I've got that signed and all that stuff. I can do all this stuff. I can do the after treatment filter reset. DF. You can do. Let's see here. Particulate filter regeneration static. I mean, this is, look at all the stuff you can do here. You can do your actuator calibrations when you change your turbo actuator. Vehicle speed source, you can change your speedo. I mean, if you got drivers in your trucks and you want to limit the speed they can go, you can come right in here and change it. PTO, there's a lot of PTO stuff here. So let's go to, and this is what we're going to do on this one. We're going to have our filter sent off and get it baked, and then we're going to reset the filter when we get it back. So let's go to, we're going to do a forced regen on this thing and just see what it does. Oh, it's shaking a little bit there when we started her up, about fell off the steering wheel. Okay, so let's go down here to our, if I can find it. Particulate filter regeneration static. Alright, so you just highlight it there and you go down here to start. Alright, in order to carry out the test correctly, PTO cruise control if present must be deactivated. And let's see if he's got his cruise on. A lot of these guys leave the cruise on all the time. And it's on. Oh, we turned it off. Alright, so firm. Alright, during the regeneration process, exhaust gas temperature, it gives you all the warnings how hot it'll get. You know, don't park it by a stack of hay and do a regen. You know, just use a little common sense. Everything's getting hot. Anti-particulate filter the anti-particle filter will become burning. And kind of just will become burning. Place the vehicle on the ground, not flammable. Okay, yeah. Yeah, don't stand by it or you're gonna get burned. Yeah, put it in neutral so you don't run through the building. Step away from the engine compartment. Yeah, okay, here we go. Alright, it's gonna idle it up now. It's doing a forced regen on it. We can look at our commanded EGR position, our calculated EGR fuel pressure, EGR valve temperature. We do a lot of stuff here, so tells you there you're regenerating particulate filter obstruction degree normal. So just want to show you guys you can do a regen on these. I'm not going to do it on this one. It doesn't need it. It says it's normal. And then I don't want to wait forever for it to cool down so I can pull the filter off. That thing will get up to 1,000 degrees. Alright, I canceled it. Can we go on here? Okay. But you can go into parameters also. Look at all your voltages on everything. Accelerated pedal position sensor. It's at 0. 29%. I've got the throttle pushed down. Tells you what your variable geometry turbo, what the value is on it. I mean, there's a lot of handy information here, guys. It's a really good tool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff this thing will do. I know it's pricey, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty cheap compared to... If you go start buying ISX Cummins or Insight, then you got to go buy Caterpillar software. If you start buying all that stuff individually, it would cost you a fortune. I mean, a lot of money. And on the agricultural side, I mean, the thing with the agricultural side is they don't offer it at all. They're so proprietary. John Deere, they won't. You can't. I mean, you can buy that bootleg stuff, I guess. I've never been around it, but I mean, you know, the manufacturer won't even release any of that stuff. Case International won't. Caterpillar won't. So, you know, this is kind of the only tool on the market for the agricultural side for the tractors. I mean, that's it. I mean, so, and I've been really happy. It's done really well for me. I mean, I work on them every day. So, I just wanted to give you guys an overview of this and the functionality and some of the things that this diagnostic tool will do. If you guys are interested in this, leave me a comment on it. And if you guys are, you know, owner-operators of trucks, or, you know, get tired of getting ripped off by dealers, you know, that I know it's $6,700 and I know it sounds pretty expensive, but I'll tell you what, one of these trucks go into the shop. I just had a buddy of mine call me and he said that he had a EGR valve and something else replaced on his truck, and it was like $7,500. You know, and I said, that's outrageous, you know. And you hope that hopefully they diagnosed it correctly and fixed it when it was done. So, alright guys, so thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and leave a comment.